What's up, Titan fans? How we doing? Welcome to a Week 11 pre-game episode from the What's Up Titans Fans pod, where we're going to go over the Tennessee Titans versus the Minnesota Vikings. But before we get started, as people starting to gather into the channel, let me go ahead and insert the plug real quick. If you're not following me on YouTube, TikTok, and X, make sure to follow me on all three platforms. The handle's the same no matter where you go. It's the What's Up Titan Fans pod, where I put out content all throughout the week. I'm talking Monday through Friday. I do pre-game videos, post-game videos, the ESPN power ranking videos, along with the NFL analyst prediction videos that show how they're going to pick for the Tennessee Titans game each and every week. And it comes to you in a variety of formats. I'm talking live format, just like this. We do pre-recorded videos and we do the YouTube shorts. 60 seconds or less to get content to you quick, fast, and in a hurry. So let's go ahead and dive into things. This week, the Tennessee Titans sitting at 2-7 take on the Minnesota Vikings, who are 7-2. So it's gonna be a challenge. But look, if there was a one top 10 team that the Tennessee Titans could beat this year, it would be the Minnesota Vikings. I'm just saying. Look, the ESPN Power Rankings has the Minnesota Vikings sitting at number 8 in the NFL. They are the lowest ranked 2-win team in the NFL, according to ESPN. They also have two lost team. They also have 3 lost teams above them currently in the power rankings. So the ESPN power rankings, right? The ESPN crew does not believe in the Minnesota Vikings, right? They're sitting at number 8. I know we are at number 30. We only have 2 wins on the season, 2-7, and we're one of the worst teams in the NFL. But we are improving. Will Levis did come back last week, and for the first time this season, he played an entire game without committing a turnover. He's committed a turnover in every game he's played this season, but he finally broke the curse. He played one clean game, no interceptions, and he did throw that one deep long ball to Calvin Ridley for about 45 yards for a tutty. So he was looking better, because I know when he got injured initially, he could not hit the deep ball. Hey, what up, Honorably Stone? I see you in the chat. What up? What up? Welcome to the channel. But yes, he could not hit the deep ball. It was underthrowing Calvin Ridley. Ended up throwing an interception before he went out, for a few weeks. But now he's back. He's playing smarter. He's playing better. He can hit the deep balls. The only thing is he still has that issue of holding on to the ball a little too long. Whenever Mason Rudolph was in for those 3 weeks or so, we had 6 total sacks during the Mason Rudolph era. Soon as Will Levis came back, we had 7 sacks in one game. That is insane. He's holding on to the ball too long. He's trying to take those deep shots, but he really doesn't have to. People were open underneath. He can check it down. He can give what the defense takes what the defense gives. Tom Brady was famous for that. He would take the deep shots if it was available to, but if not, Tom Brady would nickel and dime you all the way down the field. And that's just what he has to learn to do. It's going to come with time. He can develop into that type of player, but it's going to take time. And I don't know if the Tennessee Titans are willing to give him that time. He might just have this 1 year, but he doesn't have much pressure on him. He has 0 pressure on his shoulders right now. We are a 2-win team. We're not going to go to the playoffs. He has no pressure on him to make these crazy plays and play hero ball. He can just go out there, play the game, relax, and just take what the defense gives. Hey, we got Roman Cruz. You want Cooper Rush instead? Nah, dude, I don't want Cooper Rush. He can stay a Cowboy. I know he's going to go out there, do his thing as a Cowboy. He wasn't bad last time he played for them. I just don't see him as a top quality QB in the NFL. Stone says sometimes throwing it away is the best play. That is true. There was many plays last week where he tried to extend. He even ran to the outside. He was almost out of bounds, and he could have just chunked it out. But instead, he tried doing something, taking a sack. It is what it is, and that's the type of player Will Levis is gonna be. And then once we move on to our defense, the defense, obviously the stats are lying. It's not as good as it is on paper. Yes, we are the number 1 team in the league when it comes to yards allowed, but it's mainly because of our special teams. Our special teams gives the defense short fields to work with, and so they don't allow a lot of yards, but they allow a touchdown or some type of points allowed, field goal or touchdown, whatever it is, every single time they're on the field. We allow a massive amount of points, even though it's not a lot of yards, and it's because we're turning over the ball in our own area, on our side of the field. We allow in these long special team return plays. Our gunners on special teams miss the initial tackle every single time. So the defense is a little overrated. I mean, they still allow a score every single time. I know it's short field, but they should be able to stop these guys, make some plays. I mean, with the Lions, we allowed 85 passing yards, but they still put up 52 points. Could have been 70, but they put up 52 points on us. And that's just how our defense is. I mean, the stats lie. And like I was talking about our special teams, it is atrocious right now. That is the difference right there. Our special teams is the difference between us having just these 2 wins we currently have to being a 4 to 5 win team. I mean, we should have beat the Bears, definitely. But, it is what it is. The special teams is trash, and they're keeping the special teams coordinator. They haven't fired him. For some reason, Callahan will not make that decision right now. But then if we move over to the Minnesota Vikings, if we look at their team, I am not a believer in Sam Darnold. I know he's having the best year of his career currently, right? He has 17 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. But this man is not a franchise QB. He just has weapons all around him. So, I mean, he's just put in a great situation. I mean, we've seen his play. Look, let's go ahead and pull up ESPN real quick. If we look, ESPN currently has us sitting with only a 34.3% chance of winning. They give them a 65.4, but I don't blame them. I mean, they're 7-2, and we're 2-7. Hey, Roman Cruz said another one. He said, you should try to get Shador or Travis Hunter in the draft. Yes, I agree. We need some playmakers on this team. Consistently, the Tennessee Titans like to get offensive linemen. We've seen it with Isaiah Wilson. We've seen it with Latham, Dylan Radins, Peter Skoronski. We ended up getting Duncan, but that was like, a 7th-round pick. But we love getting offensive linemen. They don't work out. We try to get these veteran playmakers. I mean, why do you think we got Tony Pollard? We got D-Hop, but we traded them away, right? We ended up getting Ridley. We get these older playmakers, even on defense, we haven't seen a Snead in some time. We haven't seen a Awuzie in some time, but we get these older veteran, skill position players instead of drafting them, getting them young. We try to draft linemen. I think we're doing it in reverse. We got to get some veteran linemen that know how to block. They're proven in the NFL, and get these young playmakers on the field. You said, I wish we kept Tony. You talking about Tony Pollard? Oh, yeah. Hey, I mean, he's doing good for us. He is one of the best players on our team right now. He is the most consistent. I mean, we're inconsistent at QB, we're inconsistent at wide receiver, and we have 0 tight end game. So we definitely are blessed to have Tony Pollard in the backfield. He's definitely the number 1 guy on our team, at least for offense. And then, but whenever Spears comes in, he plays pretty nice for us as well. And if we look at the injury report, you can see it right here, the Minnesota Vikings. They have a few guys. I mean, some's been out a while. I mean, J.J. McCarthy, obviously, he's been out all season. They have lots of guys on IR. And then their linebacker, Gabriel Murphy. And then for the Tennessee Titans, our right tackle, which it's a rotation at right tackle, right? Watson, he's out this game. I mean, we've had Duncan. He's been miserable. We had NPF. He's been miserable. We're just rotating people. We're trying anything. We're just throwing things at the wall right now and seeing what sticks at right tackle. But he's currently out, so who knows who's going to play right tackle between Duncan and NPF. L'Jarius Sneed is still out. He's been out for like 4 weeks. I don't even think he's in a rush to come back. I mean, he didn't even want to be a Tennessee Titan. He got traded here. I think he wanted to be a Chief, obviously. I mean, look how good they are. They're undefeated. But we got him. He never missed a game for Kansas City. We get him. He's been out for like 4 weeks. Then Justin Hardy, which is a guy we just picked up. He's a practice squad player. He's questionable now. And then these guys been injured, Cushenberry and Diggs. So let's go ahead and get into some of the team stats real quick and see how we're doing. So for the year, real quick, Will Levis, he has 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Like I said, last week was his best game of the year. He had 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 0 turnovers on the day, which is outstanding because the mailman is a turnover machine. Then he has 22 sacks on the season. He definitely made those numbers jump up because he holds onto the ball too long. He had 7 sacks last week. This man does not avoid pressure. If anything, he rolls into pressure and gets that sack. Hey, we got some more comments. So if Sam finishes strong, do you think the Vikings would keep JJ on the bench? I mean, yes, if he has a great season, they go into the playoffs, they do a deep playoff run, and Sam is looking like he is the franchise quarterback. I know last week he had a rough game. I believe he had 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions last week, so it did mess up his stats. I mean, even with that, he has 10 touchdowns. I mean, 17 touchdowns, 10 interceptions on the year. So even with a bad game, he's still looking good. And look, he's playing the Tennessee Titans. We have the worst turnover ratio in the NFL. We never commit turnovers. Our defense never commits turnovers, and our offense commits them consistently. Just not last week. Last week was the one exception, and we still couldn't put up enough points to score in a game. The 2 games this season where we put up over 17 points, guess what? We won. All other games we put 17 or under, guess what? We lost. We cannot put up over 17 points. So it's just tough for us to move the ball. He said, I thought this was a Vols channel. Dude, whenever I was creating channels, I should have made a What's Up Vols fans channel, because the Vols, they're obviously doing much better than the Tennessee Titans. Maybe it'll come in the future if I get more time on my hands. I can make a Vols channel, because right now, yes, the Tennessee Titans, they are a tough organization to watch. I was doing watch parties at the beginning of the season, sitting here watching the games with you guys, y'all commenting along all throughout the game. And then the games just become so miserable to watch. It's difficult to sit there and entertain for 3 hours trying to watch these Tennessee Titans deke and dunk down the field, but you're mainly watching them just punt the ball and the other team almost running the ball back on you. It is ridiculous. But anyway, Tony Pollard, like I said, he's our best offensive weapon right now. He has 151 carries, 666 yards. He got those 3 sixes right now. That's dangerous. But he also has 3 touchdowns. Not a lot of touchdowns on the season because we don't score a lot of touchdowns. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we was on the 2-yard line. We was on the goal line, and we did 3 straight pass plays and then just settled for a field goal. And we tried doing a fade route to Josh Wiley, our tight end, who is not a good pass catching tight end. He's super slow. When he catches the ball, he doesn't make any explosive plays. He just catches it, goes down. We don't have that big explosive tight end. That's why if you follow the channel, I am a Brock Bowers fan. I wanted us to draft Brock Bowers. He would have been outstanding for us. I know the Raiders are trash, and I think they were ranked number 32 according to ESPN Power Rankings. But it would have been nice to have him. He has like 56 receptions on the year. He's outstanding. That's more receptions than any Tennessee Titans player currently has. But yes. Then we got Tajay Spears right below him, another 161 yards. He said, what happened to Walker? You talking about Delaney Walker? Man, that dude retired like 4 years ago. Yeah, he hasn't been a Titan in a while, Stone. It's been a minute, if that's who you're talking about. Calvin Ridley, though, 32 receptions on the year. But, man, he does not catch a lot of his receptions. I mean, he has 68 targets, 32 receptions. I mean, he's catching less than half of the passes that are intended for him. I know Will Levis throws it into double and triple coverage. He's underthrowing them, overthrowing them. Some of these balls are nowhere near. But some of them hit him right in his hands, and he's dropped it. I'm not sure if he's just surprised when he gets the ball actually to him and he's open, but he's missed some that where he was just wide open on. But he does have 3 receptions. He did get that long one last week. I'm assuming that's his season long, the 47 it's showing on there. So he's starting to open up. He is building that chemistry with Will Levis. Because him and D-Hop had it for a long time, and now he's trying to build it with Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is fast. Maybe he's just not used to throwing to such a fast receiver, because when you had D-Hop, who isn't the fastest, you have NWI on the other side that's not fast. You have a tight end like Josh Wiley over there. He probably runs like a 4.7. He's not used to throwing to someone as fast as Calvin Ridley, who's one of the faster receivers in the NFL. And then Chig, we have at tight end. Yes, we have him, but he doesn't do much. I mean, he has 21 receptions, 173 yards. He's not an offensive weapon at all for us. We need a tight end desperately. Defense, yes, Kenneth Murray, he does lead our team in tackles. He has a lot of tackles, but this man is not a pass coverage linebacker. We've seen him get burned time and time again. He's good at blitzing. Yes, he can do the pass rush, but that's about it. He can stop the run and do pass rush, but when it comes to pass coverage, this man gets burned consistently. He has like 2 sacks on the season. But if we look at our sacks, we don't even have a lot of team sacks, 18 sacks. There's some players in the NFL that are already around 10 sacks. And we have 18 as a team. And Denard Wilson, who came from the Ravens, he's a blitzing type of defensive coordinator. We're blitzing and everything, and we still only have 18 sacks. What's going on with our pass rush? I mean, we have guys up front, guys we paid. What happened to T-Sweat clogging the middle? We have Big Jeff. He's been a sleeper all year. Harold Landry, I think he has like 5 sacks on the year. I can confirm. I think he has like 5 sacks on the year. But where is he? I mean, 5 for how much we paid this man. We have Arden Key on the other side who's supposed to be going wild, going off. He's not doing much either. It is just tough. Let me sort this by sacks real quick just so we can see our team. Harold Landry, 5. Arden Key, 4. Big Jeff Simmons, only 3. Joseph Day, 2.5. Kenneth Murray got 2. And then you got like Jack Gibbons with a half sack. Come on. You know, and I know Jack Gibbons just started playing too, and he's not really a pass rusher. He does pretty well in pass coverage. He's just a little slow. But other than that, he is pretty good in pass coverage. And we did, after guys got injured and stuff, you know, he ended up playing now. And wasn't playing earlier in the season. Let's see, we got another comment. Why would the Titans send D-Hop to the most OP team in the NFL? I don't know. The Chiefs end up having unlimited cap. It happens year in and year out. All of a sudden, they get the best players. They'll end up getting one of the top running backs or a receiver each and every year. They paid Patrick Mahomes, I know it was a few years ago, but they paid him NFL record-breaking money. Top NFL QB paid in the history of the NFL, even though I know that record gets broken almost every single year. But they still find a way to sign players and keep good players year in and year out. I don't understand it. The cap does not exist with them. Where you got teams like the Saints struggling. They're going to be $70 million in debt next year. And, you know, they don't even have a great roster, but yet, you know, I don't get the Chiefs have an outstanding roster. They can pay everybody, keep everybody, outstanding roster. And Frosty's in the chat talking about the Chiefs. He said hi. He is a Chiefs fan. You know, he's been following all throughout the year. He's been here consistently. So go ahead and say what's up to Frosty in the chat, man. Next, we got the pass to flex. Look, we don't get very many pass deflects. Hooker has 7. He's been our best defensive back by far. If you look on the interceptions, he's the only man on our defense that has interceptions. Yeah, look, he played with Kevin Byard. Maybe it rubbed off on him, but he's the only man out there on our defense making plays. 3 interceptions on the team, all by Amani Hooker. We need Byard back because these guys we got back there to replace him. Diggs, you know, he's injured. Jamal Adams we had didn't work out. He lasted just a few weeks. We got rid of him. Then we have Mike Brown from like the practice squad, been on the team a couple years. It's not working out. And I think we have a rookie, Julius Wood, who we got hasn't played a snap for us yet. So we are struggling at safety. And these big signing DBs we got in the offseason with Snead and Awuzie has just been injured. So we haven't seen them. So we're not getting any interceptions. We don't make turnovers at all. So you see we got 3 interceptions on the year. Then if you look at other turnovers for fumble recoveries, we only have 2. I'm talking Big Jeff and Arden Key, both with 1. So we are struggling right now. 5 turnovers from our defense. 3 by 1 player. What is the rest of the defense doing? It's not happening. We almost had one last week. We had that strip sack, which looked like a strip sack from Big Jeff. The thing was returned back for a tutty by Roger McCreary and ended up getting called back, which it looked like a fumble to me. The coach said it was a fumble, but they called it back. He didn't want to debate it too much because he didn't want to get fined, which we understand. So let's go ahead and hop into the Minnesota Vikings. Look at their roster real quick and see how Sam Darnold's doing. We know he has his 17 touchdowns, 10 interceptions on the year. Yeah, we were accurate there. He has 26 sacks, so he does take a decent amount of sacks as well. But he still has over 2,000 yards passing. He's getting almost a first down every time he throws the ball, 8.2 yard average. But he has weapons all over the place, right? So first for runner back, look, he almost has as many yards as we talk about with Tony Pollard. He's sitting at 653 with Aaron Jones. He has 2 touchdowns on the season. So his numbers are actually very similar to Tony Pollard. You know, they're very close with touchdowns. They're close with yards and everything like that. Then you have Ty Chandler back there, who I love. Ty Chandler, right? He's a Tennessee Volunteer. You know, he has 169 yards and no touchdowns on the year. But if you look at their wide receiver, I mean, how is our DBs going to keep up with these guys this week? It's going to be tough. I mean, we're going to have Roger McCreary back there. And then Baker, some dude from the practice squad we picked up. I mean, it's going to be tough. We have Jarvis Brownlee Jr., who's been an okay rookie for us, but it's gonna be a tough day for our defensive backs because Roger McCreary is a little guy. He's a slot cornerback, and if he gets lined up against Justin Jefferson or something, it's gonna be disastrous for us. Justin Jefferson, 53 receptions, 831 yards, and 5 tutties on the season. I mean, we had our best cornerback out there, Snead, right before he got injured. He got mossed by Michael Pittman from the Colts. So it's going to be a tough day. Frosty with another comment real quick. I think the Titans can beat the Vikings. Your secondary is good to go. I mean, our secondary is banged up, brother. It really is. I mean, our top 2 cornerbacks are out. Our top safety is out with Quandre Diggs. So we're missing 3 key parts in our secondary. So we really just have our starting slot cornerback and 1 starting safety. Everybody else is coming up, through the ranks, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a tough day for him. Maybe if we still had our starting defensive backs back there, it would be a good game. But right now, I just don't see it happening. But, like I said at the start of this video, if there was a top 10 team we could beat in the NFL, it would be the Minnesota Vikings, right? ESPN has them ranked number 8, in the league right now. And they are the lowest ranked 2-loss team in the NFL, according to ESPN. They have 3 lost teams above them in their power rankings. They are ranked number 8. The Tennessee Titans are ranked number 30 in the power rankings. So we're one of the worst teams. They're one of the best teams. But if there was a good team we could beat, I think it would be them, mainly because I don't believe in Sam Darnold. I do believe in their wide receivers, though. I believe in Justin Jefferson. I believe in Jordan Addison, right? Jordan Addison, he's doing well. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of receptions, 21 receptions, 298 yards, but he's still a stud. I mean, they got good guys out there. It's going to be hard to cover these people. Then on their defense, I mean, if you look at their stats, they have 30 sacks on the season. This is what I'm talking about. The Tennessee Titans, we have 18. They almost double us. You know what I'm saying? They have 30 sacks, and we gave up 7 last week. It's going to be a tough game, especially if they go against our right tackles. Their linebackers come in nonstop. Jonathan Grenard, he has 7 sacks. The Van Ginkel guy, 6 sacks. Look, all these linebackers right here, just sacks. I mean, it's going to be a tough day for us. And then if we look at their interceptions, I mean, look, we have Will Levis. He led the league in turnovers. I'm not sure if he currently does anymore because he was hurt for a few weeks. I'd have to look that up. But look at these. 4 interceptions, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. We have 3 as a team. They have 15 as a team, folks. 15. It's going to be hard for us. It's going to be a hard day. And if you look at their fumble recoveries, remember, we had 2 as a team. Look at all these guys with a fumble recovery right here. Pace, Ward, Bynum, Smith, Phillips. They all got a fumble recovery. Look, this guy got one for a tutty. It's going to be hard. But like I said, this is a game we could win if we play perfect ball. We can't have any turnovers. Our defense has to stop teams from getting touchdowns, and our special teams has to make tackles on the initial. Like, how many times this year on a special teams play has you seen the Tennessee Titans either on kick coverage or punt coverage where the gunners go down there, make the initial tackle, and there was no flag on the play? I don't even remember one, chat. I don't remember one. Every time the gunners miss their initial tackle, Stonehouse, love the man, one of the best punters in the league, but what does he do? He outkicks his punt coverage every single time. Line drive straight down the field. Gunners go, they miss their tackles. All of a sudden, they're down the field 20, 30 yards. Sometimes they make up one for a touchdown. And then if we're receiving the ball, what happens? We always get stuffed. But if we do break one, what happens? Hold in, called back. We're starting long distance. Special teams is horrible. And then if we look at their return team, luckily they have nothing returned for a touchdown this season. That's good. That's a bright side for us because teams have returned kicks on us. They have returned punts. They have blocked punts. So it's been a tough special teams season. We got some more comments real quick. He says, sounds like Dallas's defense. Yeah, Dallas is... Yeah, they allow a lot of points. I know Prescott puts up a lot of yards. A lot of it comes in garbage time. I know he's out now. Y'all got Cooper Rush over there. We'll see how he does this week. Who y'all play, by the way, anyway? I'm not even sure. I can look that up real quick. to see who the Cowboys play because I am unsure at the moment. He said, y'all need to work on that Beamer ball. Explain Beamer ball. I'm not sure what Beamer ball is. Let me get to them Cowboys real quick. Who they play? The Texans. Oh, I hope y'all beat the Texans because, look, I made a video earlier this week talking about the Tennessee Titans and their playoff possibilities. Like, we're still mathematically in the playoffs. It's going to take a lot to happen, right? We need the Texans to lose lots of games. We're only 4 games behind them, but we need to make some sweeps, right? We need to sweep the Texans. We still got to play them twice. We got to sweep the Jags. Still got to play them twice. And we need the Texans to lose multiple games just so we can tie with them in the division, but we'd be ahead of them if we get the sweep. And we can still make the playoffs and win the division. And also, I just want the Texans to lose just because they're a division rival. Hate the Texans. So I need the Cowboys to get that dub. Cooper Rush to come out there and put some work in, brother. That's what we need. Frank Beamer was the coach for VT a long time. He specialized in special teams. Yeah, we need something. We need some special teams coverage because our special teams is atrocious, and our coach will not fire the special teams coordinator no matter what. They should try, Trey Lance, let him play. Yeah, he's young. I would go with that if I was them. Trey Lance, yes, because he showed lots of promise coming out of college. He really didn't get much of a chance, in San Francisco. They basically just went with Purdy. Purdy went out there. He's an outstanding player. He's looking good. I mean, I know he has a great surrounding cast, and he's put in a great situation. And he's still playing for minimum money in the NFL. Most regular human beings walking around make about as much as he has. He doesn't make that much. He's a 7th round draft, the Mr. Irrelevant in the draft. But yeah, they should let Trey Lance play, see what he got. He was a previous 1st round draft pick. Let him go out there. I mean, why does it matter? The Cowboys are 3-6. They're playing in a hard division. I mean, they got the Commanders who's doing outstanding this year. No one expected it. They got the Eagles who have one of the best rosters in the NFL. I mean, in the NFC, it's basically between them and the Lions for like the best team in the NFC. I mean, I know the Vikings are kind of close record-wise. I just don't believe in their quarterback. But the Dallas is, they're in a tough division, so you might as well just play Trey Lance, see what he has, see what he brings to the table, and then go from there, because you never know. If he comes out on top and he's just like how he was in college, hey, it could be a good thing. And real quick, because I know Honorably Stone's in the channel real quick, let's go ahead and check on them Tampa Bay Buccaneers real quick, see what they got going on. Oh, they versed the Giants at 1 p.m. They're a 1 p.m. game just like us. We're back to our normal programming schedule, 1 p.m. Sunday football for the Tennessee Titans. But they versed the Giants. They should beat the Giants. Giants are not a good team. I know the Bucs, they have 4 wins on the season, but look, the Bucs are predicted a 62% chance to win this game by the ESPN analytics against the New York Giants. He said, if we lose, I'm revoking Baker's pass. Yeah, Baker should win this game. I mean, we can dive into their stats real quick to see what the Bucs have, how Baker's doing on the year. Real quick, let's see. Baker Mayfield on the year. I mean, that's good stats, brother. You can't revoke Baker's stats. I mean, look at this, or give him the pass. He has a 70% completion rate. That is outstanding, brother. He has 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. That's good. Sacks, I mean, his sack numbers are a little high, but, I mean, that's good. Baker's having a good year. I mean, you could be stuck with Will Levis. Let's just go there. He said Tampa is almost looking like Brady never left. I'm surprised by Baker. Yeah, Baker's having a good year, Stone. I don't think you need to revoke your Baker pass. I think you just got to believe in Baker. He is him. Because, look, if you take a peek real quick at the Giants and their quarterback situation, this is where you could be. I don't believe in the Giants at all. They're not a good organization. Look, they're 2-8, one of the worst teams in the NFL. Daniel Jones, 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I mean, that's what you could be stuck with, and that's what you're going against this week. So stay on that Baker train. He's been sacked 29 times. I mean, look, they tried Drew Lock for a little bit. He didn't do anything either. He said, Stone said, decision-making isn't the best. Yeah, and then he said Danny Dimes. Yeah, that's right. They paid that man a whole bunch of money. They got desperate, paid him some money, and I know they're regretting it. Daniel Jones is trash. He's a horrible QB. For some reason, they kept him. They wanted him. I know teams get desperate, right? They're like, hey, this is a chance for us to get our franchise QB. They don't want to waste it. And so they just go out there, they make a decision, and these decisions don't pay off, right? And real quick, I just want to look at the Ravens just because I hate the Ravens, right? They're 7-3. I think they were ranked in the power rankings like number 3 or 4 in the NFL. Yeah, they versed them Steel Boys today. I know we got a couple Steel Boys that watch this channel consistently. Yeah, so I hope the Steelers, I hope that they get the win this week because I hate the Ravens. If you watch this channel, we hate the Ravens. But the one player we do like, no matter what, no matter where he goes, is Derrick Henry. And as you see, Derrick Henry, he's got over 1,100 yards on the season. He's going to break that 2,000-yard mark. He's got 12 tutties. You know, I hope Derrick Henry goes off, but I hope the Steelers get the dub and the Ravens lose, right? He said the Giants are saving Archie Manning a spot. Yeah, there's a lot of good QBs coming up. I know this year for the NFL draft, because look, we're going to have a top draft pick as the Tennessee Titans. It's going to be a top pick. And I know the quarterback situation is a little iffy, right? You got Shedeur Sanders, which is going to have, you know, Daddy Prime, you know, over him the entire time, no matter which organization he's going to. And no one wants that drama. You know, I like Shedeur Sanders. He makes plays. I just don't know if it would translate to the NFL. I mean, he plays for Colorado. He's not playing like at an SEC school. He's not playing good defenses. And then he has his father babying him the entire time. So, you know, I would want him there, but I don't know. Then you got Quinn Ewers, right? Quinn Ewers, he does okay. I mean, I think he plays good unless it's a good team. I mean, you've seen him struggle against, like, Georgia. You know, he gets hurt. It seems like he always has injuries. So I'm not sure about Quinn Ewers. And then you got Cam Ward, who plays for Miami, which is another team that doesn't play good schools. I mean, yeah, they were undefeated for a while and they just lost, but they don't play good teams. So it's a little iffy right now with the QB situation. And then I think Carson Beck was going to be in the draft, and he's been absolute trash this year. So Dylan Gabriel from Oregon, he's looking good, but he's a lefty, you know, and he also plays for Oregon. You know, obviously we ended up getting Mariota some years ago, and Oregon puts up a lot of points, but they don't play anybody with a defense. So we'll see how that goes. But, you know, but when you look at the upcoming years with Nico out of Tennessee, obviously you're going to have Arch Manning and stuff like that. And, you know, we got some good drafts that's coming up. But, you know, who knows right now? Who knows with these guys? I mean, it's not like some of these previous drafts where there was all this hype, you know, around certain QBs. I know Shedeur Sanders is going to have hype just because of Daddy Prime, right? But, hey, it is what it is. But that's going to sum it up for today's episode. Like I said, make sure if you're here, go ahead and send that like button, subscribe, do all that. It helps the channel out. I like having conversations with you guys. I appreciate the comments, Roman and everybody else who commented, Stone. You know, it's a conversation with each and every one of you. You know, I have my opinion, you have yours. I take it, you know, we read it out. I read every single comment each and every week. And look, tomorrow for tomorrow's show, you know, I'm still debating if I'm going to do a watch party. Like I said, it's difficult, but I'll definitely at least do a pregame raw thoughts and at least a halftime report, you know, to go with those. Those seem to do pretty well. But yeah, go ahead, leave your comment below on how you think the Tennessee Titans are going to do this week against the Minnesota Vikings. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tighten up, baby.